GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
These have been tough times, and we could all use a helping hand to get through this period. GUT Credit Union gives you the opportunity to do just that without a worry. What are you looking forward to? A relaxing staycation? Brand new appliances or devices? Consolidating your debt to get more money in your pocket? Not a member? No worries. Come in and find out how you too can make the most of this offer. Or visit us today. Yes, you can have a brighter Christmas season with GUT Credit Union. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Well, hello and good evening. It's Wednesday, November 11th with the Network News. I'm Odette Campbell. This evening, heartbroken, teary-eyed colleague tells GBN about his painful final moments with Canadian farm worker. There was a floral tribute today. We will share those photos with you. Health Minister annoyed that returning nationals and visitors just won't comply with the home quarantine regulations. St. George's University denies that American doctor who tested positive for COVID-19 has any relationship with the institution. And Croatia students tip their hats to essential workers today. Coming up in sports this evening, the Windies management investigating quarantine protocol breach, and in around the globe, wealthy nations snap up early release of COVID-19 vaccines. We'll bring you the details right after this message. This is GBN, the nation's news leader. This segment is brought to you by Quartz Grenada Limited.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Quartz, bringing value home.
And now for the news in detail, I'm Odette Campbell. Teary-eyed colleagues have been reliving painful final moments with a Grenadian colleague who died suddenly on Monday night. They witnessed the horrific and unfortunate demise of their colleague Dunbar Hosford at Niagara, where they worked. GBN's Christelina John continues to track that story, and she brings us this update.
Sorry, he was generally very quiet, very dedicated to his job, and very appreciative of everything that we did and he could do. So.
A very tearful boss, Tory Warren, as he mourns the loss of one of his employees, while at the same time recalling what kind of individual Dunbar Hosford was, saying he was well loved among his peers. Earlier today, colleagues laid flowers for their former workmate Dunbar Hosford on the spot where the incident occurred. GBN was told that Dunbar had finished his daily task on the farm and was heading back to the bunker where he apparently lost control of the tractor he was driving on Monday night. The machine plunged into a ditch, following which Dunbar was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead. The cause of death was reported as cardiac arrest. Warren tells of the mood among workers since Dunbar's passing.
Kind of sad. It's a very somber mood today, so likewise yesterday as well. The workers from Grenada, there's three of them still here. I have given them time off until they feel comfortable to work again. The other workers are working on a limited basis, just trying to get our minimum amount of stuff that we need to get done completed. So.
While family members in Grenada have informed the GBN that they are too emotional to speak at this time, our news desk was informed that they are preparing for what is called prayers for their loved one. So too are the colleagues back on the farm in Canada.
We're just in the process of making plans for a service, a memorial service. We kind of had to wait for the at least I wasn't sure what was happening with the body, and we may or may not have the body present at the service, but we're planning on having a service at one of the local churches, either Saturday or Monday or Tuesday.
Dumba was looking forward to returning home to his family by this month's end. A GoFundMe page has been set up to accumulate funds to assist Dumba's family through this tragic loss. Christelina John, GBN.
The Ministry of Health is becoming frustrated. It needs to test close to 40 people for the coronavirus because 2 people have erred. Health officials say they're concerned about people's continued disregard for the protocols. GBN's Rena Pear reports.
The testing of the 38 people who have been asked to quarantine as part of contact tracing related to Grenada's 31st and 32nd COVID-19 cases is expected to start on Friday. Those persons are believed to have come into contact with a medical doctor and his wife who arrived in Grenada from the United States a week and a half ago. Friday marks 1 week since their possible exposure to the deadly virus. The couple breached home quarantine rules and reportedly visited 4 restaurants in the south of the island between Friday and Saturday night before receiving the results of their PCR tests. This development has sparked heated discussions about the efficacy of the Health Ministry's ability to monitor people who are allowed to quarantine at home. Some have also questioned why the American doctor and his wife were permitted the privilege of home quarantine when some Grenadians are kept in state-supervised facilities for which they must pay a fee. The case of newspaper publisher George Wum being denied the request to home quarantine about 2 months ago has been brought to the fore as a case in point. Also at issue is whether the tracking watches which were promoted as part of the supposedly effective monitoring system have been deployed. The question was put to Health Minister Nicholas Steele.
A GPS device was not placed on the individuals at the airport. All other protocols were followed at the airport, but the GPS device was not placed on the individual at the airport. It was not from any waiver or instructions from the Ministry of Health, nor did the Ministry of Health know that this individual did not receive a GPS device.
Minister Steele says that his ministry continues to face challenges as it relates to persons' non-compliance with quarantine protocols.
Some individuals are going out of their way to breach the system or are not taking our rules and regulations that have been put there to protect us, not taking them seriously. Not just visitors, but we ourselves running establishments here in Grenada, trying to carry on our livelihoods. Some of us are breaching the rules and regulations and putting the rest of us at risk. The Ministry of Health will do its best, and the government and with the RGPF its best to enforce. But we should not have to be spending so much of our resources on enforcement.
Most of Grenada's 32 COVID-19 cases have been imported. There was a low while the country was on lockdown, but the number have been risen since the reopening of the Maurice Bishop International Airport and other ports of entry. During the month of October, 2,800 people arrived on the island. The Health Ministry has administered more than 7,500 PCR tests since March. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
St. George's University says it is in no way connected to the recent quarantine violators. It says that all information that says otherwise is a rumor and nothing else. We get more in this report.
St. George's University is denying rumors circulating around the island that the learning institution has some connection or relationship with Grenada's 31st and 32nd COVID-19 positive cases. In a press release issued on Wednesday, the university said that none of the recently reported cases of COVID-19 are SGU employees, faculty, or students on its Trubel campus, and emphasized that they are aligned with all of Grenada's public health measures that will keep its residents safe and healthy amid the global pandemic. The university said it will continue to support the General Hospital with critical medical equipment and donation to deal with any potential outbreak of the disease. Minister for Health Nicholas Steele supported the SGU's statement.
In terms of any affiliation of this individual to St. George's University, just simply that he is an alumni of St. George's University, but in no way affiliated at present to St. George's University at all.
St. George's University said its campus operation has been modified to strongly reinforce social distancing practices and other health measures as they remain vigilant and frequently inform students, faculty and staff to adhere to Grenada's public health COVID-19 regulations. Christelina John, GBN News.
Well, there's been a lot of talk about the watches that should be used to monitor people, and the Health Minister Nicholas Steele says the government is working with other Caribbean countries to address the challenges with the tracking devices being issued to persons in quarantine. Those are used to monitor their movement, but from all indications, it's not a success just yet.
Some weeks ago, Acting Chief Medical Officer in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Sean Charles, confirmed that the Ministry of Health received reports of faulty issues with the GPS tracking watches issued to persons in quarantine. On Wednesday, Minister for Health Nicholas Steele said the monitoring, servicing, implementing and installing of the GPS devices is now being reviewed by government.
The monitoring, implementation, installing and monitoring of the GPS device is done by a third-party service provider, and as such, we are seriously looking at the service being provided to find one of two things. Ensure that this provider strengthens his resources and his ability to carry out the mandate given to this entity, or to find an alternative means that meets the criteria that the Ministry of Health insists upon.
The minister said Grenada is not the only country that is having issues with the watches, and as such, government is collaborating with other Caribbean countries to address the problem.
We have collectively worked a solution that is Grenada, St. Lucia, Jamaica, and British Virgin Islands, I believe. We have new devices coming in this week. The new devices work hand in hand with the software that we are rolling out, which is our AMBER technology software, which from the time you apply to come to Grenada, the devices plug in and work with that. These new devices address some of the shortfalls that we have seen, not just here in Grenada, but in other Caribbean islands as well.
Minister Steele says the new device will create an avenue for all stakeholders to monitor those in possession of the watches.
That the Ministry of Health Wardens team will have direct and immediate access to the back end of the device monitoring, that the police also have that same immediate access, that the provider, if there's a provider going forward, has that access as well, that Dr. Sean himself can look if there's a rumor or information of a breach, he can check and not have to rely on calling someone else at a desk or so.
The minister was speaking at government's weekly post-cabinet briefing. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
And network news continues after this break. When we come back, we'll tell you that poultry farmers say they feel as if they're staring down a very dark tunnel. Could there be light? We'll find out. And crochet students tip their hats to essential workers. You won't want to miss that very pretty story. Stay with us.
Christmas is happening. Christmas is happening. Christmas is happening at Republic Bank. No interest rate happening. Quick approval happening. Christmas time happening at Republic Bank.
And 2020 on a merry note at Republic Bank as we spread the holiday cheer with our Make It Happen loans. Republic Bank is here to lighten up your spirit with quick approvals and cash prizes valued at over $10,000.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Your hard work, talent, and creativity, plus Flow, equals more ways to chase your dreams. Flow is connecting all of Grenada, from Point Salines to Hillsborough. with the most reliable connection on the island. So now everyone can work, study, and keep moving forward together. Visit discoverflow.co for more information.
Need a quick, convenient way to pay your bills and avoid lines? Use the online banking feature from Republic Bank, First Caribbean, or Co-op Bank. Contact them today to set up your online banking and enjoy 24-hour convenience to make your bill payments. Stay safe. Grenlec, we are united even when we are apart.
Rubis is giving you more ways to win because you deserve it. Spend $50 or more in Ultratech fuel or purchase a Rubigas refill at any Rubis service station and get an entry card. Win one of 5 amazing grand prizes worth $2,500, including Ultratech fuel, cash, groceries, bill payment vouchers, and home furnishings. Each grand prize winner gets to donate $500 to charity too. Plus, win exciting weekly prizes, including electronics. Make sure you're in with a chance to win. Win with Rubis. You deserve it.
Sunday, 15th November. The annual Grenadian General Insurance Half Marathon is on. Race starts at 2 p.m. at Corinth through Redgate West Hall, Grandans Valley, Belmont, Kirani James Boulevard, and onto the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Transportation will be provided. One bus leaves River Sally at 12 noon and passes through Grenville. Another leaves Sates and passes through the western side. 2 buses leave the NIS car park at 1 p.m. passing through St. Paul's and Grandans. Monetary prizes for the top 10 male and female finishers in the half marathon and cash prizes for the top 5 finishers in the 10K. The oldest finisher and the school or club with the most finishers. The annual Grenadian General Insurance Half Marathon. Sunday, 15th November.
When I need shelter, warmth, security, I know you'll be there. Something in these moments lets me know you care. Maybe the way you shield me, maybe it's your smiles and the way you tell me it's okay to try. Now I'm invincible. I can pack my sack. I can take the long road, 'cause it's okay to look back if I am scared. I know you're there. Arise, together there's no limit to what we can do. Arise, with no wings, fly. Arise, and we're so high, enjoy the view. Look, no wings, fly.
This is Ariza, your financial freedom, your future.
Introducing the new Digicel Prime Bundle. It's simply more bundled together. 54 gigs for 7 days for only $25. More data, more fun. Activate today on the My Digicel app.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Christmas is happening. Christmas is happening. Christmas is happening at Republic Bank. Low interest rate happening. Quick approval happening. Christmas time happening at Republic Bank.
And 2020 on a merry note at Republic Bank as we spread the holiday cheer with our Make It Happen loans. Republic Bank is here to lighten up your spirit with quick approvals and cash prizes valued at over $10,000.
Christmas is happening at Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
And the news continues. Previously, we were telling you about the frustrations being experienced by the Ministry of Health with people not following the protocols. And now, the provision of records of who visited most of the restaurants identified as stops made by the 2 most recent COVID cases. Well, this has greatly assisted with the contact tracing process. But officials have encountered a breakdown in the process. They've realized that not every establishment is fulfilling the requirement to list each person who enters.
As per Grenada's COVID-19 regulations, all businesses operating during this time are required to keep written logs of staff and patrons. 3 of the 4 restaurants reportedly visited by Grenada's 31st and 32nd COVID-19 cases were able to furnish the Ministry of Health with those logs, but one establishment is facing the ramifications for failing to take records of workers and customers. Chief Medical Officer is Dr. Sean Charles.
One of the institutions failed us in that aspect. No log could have been provided, and no evidence that logs are being collected by this institution was furnished. So it further drives home the point and the importance of businesses following the protocols and following the guidelines that are issued by the Ministry of Health. Because at the end of the day, they are designed to protect the population.
Minister of Health Nicholas Steele says the restaurant, as well as other businesses that do not follow the rules, may be facing fines and possible long-term closures.
As Minister, I have no intention of seeing any establishment reopen that has been non-compliant, and in fact, at present, as we had announced previously, we have stepped up on the monitoring of establishments as we approach the Christmas season, and those that are non-compliant, from accommodation establishments to entertainment establishments, will be closed until they have gone through again the necessary training and convinced the Ministry of Health and contact tracing team and Dr. Charles's team that they are compliant and therefore worthy to reopen again. But establishments will remain closed that were non-compliant in this instance, and as we go through over the next 24 to 48 hours of inspections, other establishments will be closed.
The minister also called on members of the public to be honest in the personal information being provided at these establishments, as it is for their own health and well-being.
What that does, I'm not sure if there's humor involved in it from the individual or so, but what that does is that if perchance there were a breach or possible exposure, the ministry would not be able to get in touch with you. You would not know that you are possibly exposed. So whatever the intention might be to not give your name, it means that you quite likely wouldn't know, because we wouldn't know who you are.
Blossom Alexis Welsh, GBN News.
And moving on to other news, it's been 8 months on since the onslaught of the COVID-19 pandemic in Grenada. Poultry farmers are still looking through a tunnel and going through the dark phases with no apparent light at the end. The president of the Grenada Association of Poultry Producers, Jason Phillip, tells GBN reporter Gerard Joseph that they remain without a path toward development.
No assistance from government, whether financial or otherwise, is painting a gloomy and dark future ahead for poultry producers. The development of the poultry policy, which will give farmers a sense of protection and encouragement, has been also hindered by the COVID-19 pandemic. Normalcy is hard to come by as farmers are financially constrained, and cost of feed and access to markets are some of the major issues faced.
Currently, we have a new senator responsibility for agriculture and fisheries. We also have a new minister appointed for agriculture. And from the association's point of view, we look forward to our engagement, upcoming engagements with both the minister and the senator, so that we're able to put forward our current stance and our current circumstances.
Philip says the survival of farmers is the primary focus of the association. However, they are looking forward to the growth of the industry.
We are definitely struggling, and we cannot see light at this point. We have had a situation where quite a lot of our small-scale farmers have either closed shop, they were forced to shut shut down because not enough resources to keep going. We have had a lot of the medium-sized farmers scale down in terms of to just remain productive based on smaller resources and their earnings.
The association president welcomes a resurgence in backyard poultry farming, however notes a disparity in commercial farming.
Of course, solutions to this problem is not one from the association's perspective that can be solved by us or by the farmers. This is one that requires a holistic approach. It needs the involvement of the state, it needs the involvement of the financial institutions, the farmers themselves, all stakeholders involved to ensure that we can have a rebound to the sector.
While also welcoming the reopening of restaurants and hotels, he says poultry farmers are finding it difficult to return to pre-COVID-19 production.
At this point with the hotels and so reopening, we are facing currently shortages or difficulties to fill orders currently because of course scaling down, and it is not just an overnight thing to scale back up. We have, as the association, increased the volumes that we have been ordering for day-old chicks and so to try to keep our farmers fully stocked and to get them back up to their previous levels.
Citing loopholes within the current draft policy, which is under discussion, Philip is hopeful a comprehensive policy will be implemented via the efforts and assistance of the new Agriculture Minister Peter David and Farmers Senator Roderick Sinclair. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
And from chicks to children, it was Essential Workers Day at the Croce Roman Catholic School in St. David. The students donned their essential workers wear to highlight the work of frontline workers during the COVID-19 pandemic. GBN's Christina John was on hand for today's display of fashion for a cause.
I want to say I appreciate the police officers for being working during the quarantine and be helping people to stay inside their houses.
That was Kyla Blackman, who wants to be a police officer in the future, as she acknowledges the importance of such profession. Youngsters at the Croce Roman Catholic School recognize the contributions of the nation's essential workers in keeping the nation safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. It was a scaled-down version of the school's Career Day, which also coincides with Child Month observance, which has been extended this year to the 15th of November. Bearing in mind the theme, keeping all our children safe, there were quite a few pediatricians on board who knew what the job entails. With a little demonstration, one pediatrician got to work.
I'm a doctor.
Okay, Dr. Forsyth, tell me what do you do as a doctor? What does that entail?
I take care of people, and the people who do not have COVID-19 as yet, I prevent them from getting it.
Pediatrician, because I get to help young children that are sick and make them feel better.
Okay. This is my business card. It has what I am, my name, and my address.
Nawasa. A Nawasa worker. What do you do on your job?
Fix pipe. We help like Australian when they are sick.
When they are sick. Could you tell me what you use your instrument here to do?
Tell them people heartbeats. Supermarket worker.
A supermarket worker. What does a supermarket worker do?
Collect change.
Teacher at the school, Sharon Date, explains today's event.
This year, we usually we usually do the Career Day. But this year we decided to recognize essential workers. We try to do something that's centered around the Child Month theme, which is keeping all our children safe. So we try to recognize the essential workers who kept us safe during the pandemic and who continues to do so. Most notable of the essential workers we had here, we had someone being Honorable Nicholas Steele. I mean, we didn't think about having someone being featured as that. We had a child coming as Honorable Nicholas Steele.
Ms. Date says today's activities was more on a scaled-down basis to limit the number of persons on the school's compound. Hence, this year, none of the essential workers that would visit the school to speak with students were not asked to do so.
Thank you. I would like to say thank you for your service and keep doing your hard work.
I would like to say thank you for your service.
Thank you, essential workers, for keeping us safe.
Christina John, GBN News.
No, wasn't that a cute set of children, right? And Christina John, she just knows how to get down to those levels. We salute Christina John, one of the country's essential workers as well. And now we're going over to GBN ISO. We so like to feature the positives. We are going back to that story for some snaps from today's exercise.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISO is brought to you by Clear Vision.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit. An experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. Rechanging the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
Isn't this a perfect picture? Name any profession and I'm sure there is a young child depicting it. Our ISO reporter shared photos of career day at the Croshaw RC School on Wednesday. Aren't they cute? Does it bring back any memories to you? Do you remember what you wanted to be growing up? Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 and our other social media platforms.
And this is Network News. Recreational facilities for people who are in the Subiz housing scheme. We'll tell you about that story in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to the 10th edition of YT Virtual Bingo. Have you tried it yet? Then what are you waiting for? Join the fun online Sunday, November 15th from 6 p.m. and you can win $10,000 US. Yes, $10,000 US. Tickets are only $10 US. Get yours today at gotofed.com or from numerous box offices island-wide. Don't miss the 10th edition of YT Virtual Bingo. Sunday, November 15th. It's the new way to play bingo.
It's new, innovative and classy, and a cut above the rest. Your one-stop shop for bathtubs, kitchenette, customized doors and windows, and even a new paint job. We also sell quartz and solid surface countertops. At M&M Hardware, we offer best prices, excellent service, efficiency, and reliability. Visit us at Dusty Highway, Grandin, St. George, or call telephone number 440-6757. M&M Hardware, from foundation to roof. Let's build together.
The Franklins are returning from their dream vacation, but they soon discover that their world has changed.
They want to test Papa for COVID-19. Why they don't test all them damn people that are flying on the plane with the woman they calling Patient Zero?
Heritage Theatre presents Patient Zero, a full-length play written by Chris DeRiggs, directed by Neela Etienne. Patient Zero, a story about a family and a nation under the grips of COVID-19.
Madness! Pure madness!
He got the whole world in his hands. We got the whole world in his hands.
I mean, your father has just been carried away on a stretcher, and all you can say is you're locked up and you're frustrated?
What do you want me to say? I'm locked up and frustrated.
Patient Zero at the Grenada Trade Center.
They ain't even allowing 2 dashing to come from St. Vincent. All they're talking about is curfew, curfew, curfew.
Social distancing and other safety protocols will be in place.
They say sometimes less is more, but at Real Value IGA Supermarket, we believe more is more. And since we are all about more, we want to buy more from farmers like you so we can sell more to our customers. If you have a farmer's ID and fresh produce to sell, Real Value IGA wants to buy.
For more information, contact Real Value IGA on WhatsApp at 405-4405 or give them a call at 439-2121.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, Daisy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service. Oh
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Everyone connected plus Flow equals a new way of living. And now when you add a mobile line to your Flow in-home service, you have 2 great ways to stay connected and save. Get 20% off your 7 or 30-day prepaid plan, or save 30% on a postpaid plan. That's how we save and stay connected. Call us or visit discoverflow.co today. Terms and conditions apply.
You're watching Network News, and we say goodnight, of course, to our listeners on K105. Thanks for staying with us. Government says hundreds of workers have been regularized within the public service, but the trade union representative in the Senate says there are many more that urgently need to have their status changed. Sherry and Blackman-Stephen has that story.
Leader of Government Business in the Senate, Simon Steele, said government will continue its regularization program to move some public officers from contract work to permanent employment.
Part of that also saw many of these workers, 600, 700 workers have been regularized, also receiving salary increases and retroactive pay. The cost to government for these initial stages of its regularization process have been significant, but we've not viewed that as a cost, Mr. President. We see that as an investment in the our public workers.
Senator Steele was responding to trade unions representative in the Senate, Andrew Lewis, on Tuesday, after he moved a motion in the Senate appealing to the government to regularize the employment status of employees at the country's health institutions. He said that it must be noted that government's revenue significantly declined and as such is limited in what it can do.
Rather than singling out a specific group as proposed in the original motion, it is recognizing the need to continue a process that is already underway that will address the intent of Senator Lewis, but doing that in a holistic and strategic way, which is critical to make sure that with limited government resources, the net that we're able to throw is as inclusive as possible and as comprehensive as possible.
Lewis said while he welcomes government trying to right its wrongs, there should be no more excuses in making these long-standing workers' positions permanent.
Should we say that because 700 workers are increasing it from 600 to 700, 1,000 workers, because 1,000 workers are made permanent, we must not make one who are there for the past 15 or 20 years permanent right now because of the costs? Why are these workers allowed or be expected, through you, Mr. President, to carry the cost of the state or the cost of the employer? What is in it for them They go to work every day. They go to work every day. They can't go to a financial institution and secure a proper loan. We give foreign investors breaks.
Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
And there's good news for some Soubise residents. Those persons taking up residence at the Soubise housing complex will have a recreational facility to call their own. Children at the Chinese low-income housing site at Soubise will soon have the place to recreate, as we hear. This as the government secured a portion of lands to create a playing field for the residents. The first phase of the work has already been completed. The Minister for Sport, the Honorable Yolande Bain-Hosford, says it's a means of ensuring the safety of the children in the village.
Facility is very important. As you see right behind you there, we have the Chinese settlement, but we call it the Chinese settlement because the Chinese built these houses for us, for the neighborhood. And right there you have over 200 children running up and down. It's a hilly area and it's not very comfortable for them to play, you know, kids. But they carry on and they're running all over the place playing with each other. So we saw that very, very early and we looked to acquire this property here. This is not owned by government. So it was acquired. We went through the process of acquiring it. And so we are here now trying to clear it so that we can put an adequate playing field for these youngsters to enjoy.
And one of the coordinators, Mr. Claudius Fair, has been speaking about the initiative which he is spearheading.
We cleared the place because he had a lot of long grass, and it was very difficult to see the condition of the land. So we cleared that, and that's the first phase. And the second phase will be a leveling of this area. Also here we have to do some dumping there to bring up this thing to that height. See, we have some debris there which we have to take away, and this has to be dumped. You notice we have a mark this way and a mark down this way.
And who bust the bubble? The Windies management would like to know. We'll help them investigate in the sporting segment. You won't want to miss that story. Do stay with us. This is Network News. For the last 6 months, we have been keeping you up to date with what's been happening in the tropics weather-wise. Sigoni Mohammed is continuing to keep us abreast. It's over to her.
Let's take a look at what's happening in our forecast. We continue to track Tropical Storm Ada as it is ready to make its fourth landfall. And this means the 2020 hurricane season is just full of surprises. We already know that after it crossed what was the record at that time. And now we're pushing over into what could possibly a 30th named storm for this year so far. So we do have a lot of strong wind action, some flooding occurring in parts of western and coastal Florida. It is forecast to make that landfall as a tropical storm on the lesser end of that intensity in parts of the west where Florida is concerned. We're still looking out for storm surge, and believe it or not, they're expecting tornadoes in this part of the region. So we continue to monitor what's happening here. Still seeing some rain bands extending all the way into Cuba and even into the Bahamas this evening. Jamaica finally clearing up significantly. Invest 98L. Don't forget, we're still monitoring this area of interest as well. It does have a low chance of developing according to the National Hurricane Center, but as time goes on, within 5 days, we could see another tropical depression in our area in the central parts of the Caribbean Sea. That could very well be Iota. Don't forget, we also have Theta. So we've got a lot of systems at play in the Atlantic right now, and this one, of course, moving over into the eastern portion of the basin, not really bothering anyone at this time. But for the UK, interest in that part of the world will start to get concerned as it moves a little bit closer. And as we talk about closer to home, let's take a look at what's happening here. because we are seeing some moisture coming in, and it really picks up from this evening where you'll get that partly cloudy spell and the possibility of an overnight shower or two, and quite breezy, I might add. So it's not all that bad where the forecast is concerned. Temperatures in the mid-20s for the islands tonight and into tomorrow, but we're not seeing a big change in our forecast at this point. We are seeing a little bit of sunshine coming through, and that's going to pierce through a lot of cloudiness tomorrow, so you want to be mindful of that. Have the umbrella on hand because we'll be expecting quick passing showers by mid-morning into mid-afternoon, possibly taking us overnight on Thursday. Isolated thunderstorms in our forecast into the afternoon hours, and our temperatures still pretty okay at 30 degrees in Tobago, 31 degrees Celsius in Trinidad. Do not forget where we have those heavy downpours. Look out for the usual suspects, the gusty winds and the possibility of street or flash flooding, and that could lead to some issues if you are commuting and conducting your daily activities. So with that said, that's a wrap on your forecast for now.
At Communal, we are adapting to meet the changing needs of our shareholders and members. Times are changing, and with the changing times comes a whole new way to do business. Our parents may have done their banking a different way. Communal's state-of-the-art online banking and international debit card allows members to do business with great ease. It's like literally having a branch in your very own hands. Need a loan? Apply online from the comfort of your own home anywhere in the world, and your request will be dealt with remotely. Want to transfer between your accounts or another shareholder? No wait time for transactions to update. Voila! Who needs receipts when you can receive them via e-statements on your mobile device and save the environment? Not a Communal member? You can join our family today by applying online. At Communal, we see you working hard to ensure that you save, invest, and grow. Communal. Join us today. This will be the best financial decision you have ever made.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Courts, bringing value home.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to the 10th edition of YT Virtual Bingo. Have you tried it yet? Then what are you waiting for? Join the fun online Sunday, November 15th from 6 p.m. and you can win $10,000 US. Yes, $10,000 US. Tickets are only $10 US. Get yours today at gotofed.com or from numerous box offices island-wide. Don't miss the 10th edition of YT Virtual Bingo. Sunday, November 15th. It's the new way to play bingo.
Hills and Valley Medcare Center, located on Grenville Street, St. George's, has a highly professional team that gives excellent service in massage therapy, physiotherapy, speech therapy, medical consultation, and more. Hills and Valley Medcare Center sells a wide range of medical supplies, offers home visits for patients in Grenada and Carriacou, and opens Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. through to 7 p.m. Visit or call Hills and Valley Medcare Center today, 435-6904.
Offyo.com. Sale. All the outlets, hotspot outlets. You're going to go to the Carnage, the Grenville, or the Sutter's hotspot, and you get sales and deals on all items. You can get these on potato, you can get these on saltfish, onion, garlic, mackerel, toilet paper, and we even have the currants and the raisin at $10 per pound, lowest price island-wide. So people just come down or go up or go across, but just make sure and go to hotspots.
Tropical shipping is fast and reliable. Always on time, safe and affordable. Friendly staff here to connect you. Tropical worldwide, you must get you. Shop online and you get it on time. Hassle free to meet your deadline. Consolidate any size, any load with tropical shipping. So we ship everything. I can't wait to ship with tropical. I can't wait. No package too big, too small. I cannot wait to ship with tropical. No package too big, too small. Just ship with
Local agents, George F. Huggins and Company, Grenada Limited. A telephone number 440-8787 or visit our website at www.tropical.com. Email us at grenadasales@tropical.com. Tropical Shipping, committed to island life.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Good evening, sporting fans. We are on the football pitch this evening. First off, the GFA Cup tournament is off to a good start. Teams began the journey to the finals yesterday. North Stars scored 4 goals to defeat Willis Utes, while Shamrock also beat Springs by 4 goals to 0 at Farm Playing Field. Over at Cuthbert Peters Park, Shantimel handed a 2-1 defeat to QPR. Hurricanes outscored the combined Northerners 4 goals to 2, with Christian Julian netting all 4 goals for Hurricanes. And for Christian Strikers, they were on the receiving end of a 9-0 thrashing from Paradise International, who were playing at home at Victoria Park. The match between Hard Rock and Bellevue Rangers was cancelled. The 2 matches at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium ended in a draw, as SAFL was held to a 2-all draw against Police. There was a 0-0 draw between GBSS and Mount Rich. Several of today's matches were cancelled because some of the clubs did not have a full slate of eligible players. And we are going to move off the football pitch onto the cricket ground. And there's a halt in momentum, apparently, as Grenadian wicketkeeper batsman Emmanuel Stewart's team, Botanical Garden Rangers, remain in pole position in the Vinci T10 tournament. Rangers sit at the top of the table on 6 points, having defeated Darkview Explorers by just 2 runs. Batting first, the Rangers reached 111 for 5, with Kieran Katoy smashing 52 before overs dried up on the Explorers with 109 for 7. Grenada's Emmanuel had been named man of the match in the 2 previous outings for the Rangers, but he failed to get off the mark on Tuesday. I'm certain he'll continue to shine. And now let's move on to the West Indies, where we found that the bubble has been compromised. Cricket West Indies have launched an internal investigation into the circumstances under which members of the Windies touring party breached strict COVID-19 protocols within the team's managed isolation facility in Christchurch. The breach has resulted in the team members being unable to train for their final days of isolation prior to their continued preparations for the upcoming T20 series that begin on November 27. Based on the information received so far, the incidents included some players compromising the bubble integrity by mixing between 2 separate Windies bubbles into which the touring party had been split, by sharing food and socializing in the hallways. There is no evidence or suggestion that any member of the touring party left the facility or that any unauthorized persons accessed it. It's human nature. Your friends, you'll spill over, but I'm certain they'll be fine. And let's see what's happening in other parts of the wide and wonderful world of sports. James Saunders is our man on camera this evening.
Have you heard the good news? Well, Karen Pollard is an IPL champion. Well, that's right. The West Indies T20 captain capped off an outstanding year. Well, that's when his team Mumbai Indians won their 5th IPL title after beating Delhi Capitals by 5 wickets earlier today. But it was the Mumbai captain, Rohit Sharma, who led the show as his 68 helped his team overcome Delhi's pale 156 for 7.
This was the grand finale between defending champions Mumbai Indians and Delhi Capitals in Dubai, with both sides playing for the coveted prize.
Everything changes.
And Mumbai Indians made a dream start after Delhi opted to bat. Trent Boult removed Marcus Stoinis for a golden duck. The Boult Quinton de Kock combination worked again as Ajinkya Rahane fell for 2. Shikhar Dhawan was then bowled by Jayant Yadav, and Delhi were in a pickle at 22 for 3.
Shikhar Dhawan has been cleaned up.
Captain Shreyas Iyer and Rishabh Pant had their work cut out for them.
Yeah. Finds the gap there, Shreyas Iyer. Needed to because it was in the air.
The two put on a stand of 96 for the 4th wicket.
And they have. There he goes.
Pant was caught by Hardik Pandya of Nathan Coulter-Nile for 56.
In the air and gone.
Shimron Hetmeyer didn't last long. He gave Boult his 3rd scalp.
Lovely slower ball, Trent Boult.
There were 2 wickets for Coulter-Nile as Mumbai Indians restricted Delhi Capitals to 156 for 7. Captain Iyer top scored for Delhi with an unbeaten 65.
Waited this time, waited for it, picked it, Shreyas Iyer.
In their run chase, Mumbai Indians got a solid start from skipper Rohit Sharma and de Kock.
And there, he's going to swore sails over, just those little things.
The two put on a stand of 45 runs in just 4.1 overs.
Moment it beat that man at cover was going.
De Kock was caught by Pant of Stoinis for 20.
Come on, that's him, gone!
Surya Kumar Yadav and Sharma also had a partnership of 45 for the 2nd wicket.
Oh, yes.
Yadav was run out for 19. At that stage it was 90 for 2, with Mumbai Indians still having the advantage.
That's out. That's a real mix.
Ishan Kishan joined Sharma and the two went about their business, taking Mumbai closer to the finish line.
A short ball.
Their partnership was worth 47 runs for the 3rd wicket.
Oh, shot. Wow.
Sharma was caught by substitute Lalit Yadav of Anrik Nokia for 68.
Safely? No, that is brilliant.
Karen Pollard made 9 before playing on to Kagiso Rabada. Nokia took his 2nd by having Hardik Pandya caught by Rahane for 3.
Taken.
But in the end, the ruthless Mumbai Indians got to 157 for 5 in 18.4 overs. Ishan Kishan was unbeaten on 33. Mumbai Indians won the match by 5 wickets, successfully defending their crown.
Are champions once again.
It was their 5th title, the most by any team in the IPL. Vinod Narawani, TV6 Sport.
And this evening, our probe around the globe begins in Guatemala, where the search has ended for persons who would have been impacted by a landslide. Guatemala has ended rescue operations at the site of the huge landslide believed to have killed dozens of people in the Cuella village during Tropical Storm Eta last week. Tropical Eta's torrential downpours toppled trees, engorged swift-moving rivers, and ripped down parts of a mountainside, burying people in their homes. The president said that up to 150 people could have been buried in the landslide, but the local disaster agency's own figures show only 8 confirmed deaths in Cuella, while another 88 people are missing in the village. And we're moving on now to Guyana, where the opposition party staged a protest to mark the ruling party's first 100 days in office. It was staged outside the office of the president. Wendell Battery was there and filed this report.
At a peaceful protest action on Tuesday against the PPP's 100 days in office, leader of the APNU AFC party, David Granger, addressed a gathering of supporters on the tarmac of the Square of the Revolution, where he said that the party was there to build solidarity and to stand united with those affected by COVID-19 and other matters affecting the citizenry of the country.
We're here to build solidarity with the public servants who've been dismissed. We are creating today a national movement of solidarity to oppose the oppressive and discriminatory practices of the PPP administration. When we were in government, we were able to bring COVID deaths down to a limit of 1 per week. They're now exceeding 1 per day.
Granger also spoke to an increase in police harassment, stating that during his party's stewardship of the country, the force had been administered in a more professional manner. He further alluded to the recent shipment of cocaine, which was intercepted in Belgium.
There has never been such a horrible cocaine bust in 5 years. Started again. Civil servants are being dismissed. Over 500 qualified civil servants have been dismissed. We're calling for some inquiry to call those persons, some of them young mothers. People have households, they have children. You're sending them in the middle of a pandemic, they can't find work anywhere. And you dismiss them from jobs they're qualified to perform.
The party leader concluded.
We're not shouting at anyone. We're not intimidating anyone. We're not threatening anyone. All we are calling for is that the civil society, the Guyanese people, should inform the PPP government that we will not put up with this nonsense. And we will continue to bring society against them. The diplomats, the unions, churches, all civil society to protest against what is happening.
Meanwhile, speaking on the sidelines of the protest action, Member of Parliament and representative of Region 10, Upper Demerara, Upper Berbice, Jermaine Figueira, echoed the sentiments of the former president, stating that his party is in solidarity with those who have been affected in some way or the other by actions of the current regime.
And wealthy nations representing just 13% of the world's population have already pre-ordered 51% of doses which are being made available. That's according to the charity group Oxfam. The United States, United Kingdom and the European Union and Japan have already snapped up 1.3 billion shots. That leaves 92 countries under the global COVAX scheme for developing nations with just a fraction. Al Jazeera's Paul Brennan reports.
The news that the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID vaccine had shown 90% effectiveness in early trials led to a bounce on the stock markets and a rush of orders from across the world. The UK had already pre-ordered 40 million doses. The European Union will sign a deal for 300 million doses on Wednesday. And Germany says it hopes to finalize a deal for 100 million doses in the coming days.
We don't know really how well this vaccine works in older people. We'll have to see if there are enough data to tell us that. Pregnant women haven't been studies. Studies in children are just beginning. But long journeys, first steps, that's wonderful. It looks as though we're making progress.
But in Africa and Asia, lower and middle-income countries are looking on in dismay. They're part of a joint initiative called COVAX, which relies on the financial support of richer countries. And in the race to vaccinate, charity apparently begins at home.
Did you miss any part of the newscast previously? We'll remind you of tonight's leads in just a moment. Recapping the main points in the news this evening, employer relives painful final moments with Canadian farm worker. A floral tribute at the site of the accident today. Health Minister annoyed that returning nationals and visitors just won't comply with the home quarantine regulations. St. George's University denies that American doctor who tested positive for COVID-19 has any relationship with the institution. And crucial students tip their hats to essential workers. In sports, the Windies management investigating quarantine protocol breach, and around the globe, wealthy nations snap up early COVID-19 vaccines. That's the GBN Network News for today. I'm Odette Campbell. In case you miss any part of the newscast, you can always talk back to the social media feeds on the YouTube channel and the GBN Facebook page. We'll see you again tomorrow.